Okay, good morning, Coach Williams. We'll take a couple opening comments from you, please.
Well, this week of practice, as far as being physical and fast and guys flying around, it's definitely been that. I don't want to sound cliche, but the guys, they definitely are working hard and they definitely are doing everything that we ask of them to do, whether, asking questions in the meeting rooms and, for them answering questions in the meeting rooms. They're also carrying over what we're talking about onto the practice field. So, the game plan is in. We'll continue to tweak and make adjustments all the way up to kickoff. And, like I say, guys, they seem ready to play, and I know they will be ready to play when it comes to Saturday.
Okay, thank you. We'll start with RJ. You have a question.
Good morning, Dante. Vic said he really appreciated having some live tackling on Wednesday. I'm just curious how big a deal you think that was this week, and were there any other kind of tweaks of that nature that you made this week?
Wednesday, right now we're in full pads, and it's not just like the whole practice of live tackling. There's certain segments when we get to service team that, we get a chance to go and, guys get a chance to hit guys. Right now that's what we need. We're playing another pro style team, and, right now the pro style teams, but, pretty much have confused us a little bit as far as missed tackles and assignments. So just getting guys to fit into a gap and actually be in a tackling situation. So, it wasn't like it was a million plays of that. It was quite a few, though. At the same time, it, gives guys repetitions and how to fit gaps and tackle up.
And would you say you're sticking with the normal amount of service periods this week, or do you feel like there's been some more ones versus ones and twos versus twos type stuff?
It's been both. Because, we mixed up some things where it's ones versus twos, and, the twos are actually doing the carded plays. So they're giving the Colorado look. So it has been a little bit of that, but at the same time, it's been some service things. And some of the periods of service have been cut down to 10 minutes to where it's like focusing on a certain thing, whether it's third down or red zone or first and second down, just certain things so guys can truly focus on, what's going on in practice, not just running plays.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan Karchi.
Good morning, Dante. We didn't see a lot of ITS just in practice periods this week. Is the plan for him to be ready for Saturday?
The plan is for him to be ready on Saturday. He's a guy that's been getting treatment 2 and 3 times a day. He'll continue to get 2 and 3 treatments a day. And, right now, what he's dealing with is a pain tolerance thing. So it's not something that can get worse or better or whatnot. It's just a pain tolerance thing. And if he's able to do his job. At the same time, I have a policy to where if you don't practice, you're not going to start the game. So, but he's a guy that I expect to be available for the game and expect to play.
And with Drake Jackson, I know he hasn't finished a ton of sacks. He seems like he's been there on quite a few plays just with his pass rush. What does he need to do maybe to take that next step to really make sure he's finishing those sacks?
You know what? Sometimes, we're playing some teams that are protection. So that causes some problems just because some of the pro style teams are, they have seven guys in blocking or 8 guys in blocking, and they're running 2 and 3 man routes. So that creates some problems, and they're going to slide the protection his way. So at the same time, it's not just about Drake. If they're sliding the protection to him or if they're doubling and chipping him, now somebody else has a one-on-one matchup. So it's not just about him. It's about pretty much anyone that can get there right now, and for guys to continue to put pressure, sometimes the sacks don't add up, but as long as we're getting pressures and getting hurries and we're forcing error and throws, then it all comes to the same.
Adam Grossbard.
Hey, Dante, just to circle back to ITS, what is the injury that he's dealing with?
Just a lower leg injury, just something that he tweaked in the game. And, it's obviously the knee that he and the leg that he had prior. So, just a lower leg injury that I expect him to be fine. He's still out there full pads, dressed up for practice. So I expect that he'll be ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Shotgun.
Hey, Dante, what gives you confidence that the run defense will be improved from last week?
Just for one, just how we align. A lot of it comes with alignment. It's not like guys were getting blown 10 yards off the ball. It was, some alignment issues, some gap fit up issues, and they were doing a good job of building gaps. So we make sure we address those things. And, making sure we simplify the game plan, like I say, so multiple guys can play fast, and it's no hesitation. Part as a player, when you have any kind of hesitation, you start playing slow, that's when issues start occurring. So just simplifying things so guys can play fast and they know exactly what their job is detailed out to be.
And what areas of growth do you want to see from the offense from what we've seen the first month of the season?
Well, definitely, I want to continue to run the ball like we did in the first half this past game, and I want to be able to sustain that for a whole game. And then just the development of a second wide receiver, the development of the tight ends, just certain things that we need to do, certain things to take the steps forward. Not relying just so much on just Drake or Keaton and just one or two guys. Make sure that we're a whole offense and making sure we continue to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Okay, we'll go back to Ryan Carchi.
Dante, Vic yesterday, when we asked him about Corey Foreman, basically just suggested that he still had a lot to prove in terms of earning playing time, especially during practice. For you, what have you seen from Corey in that regard, and what would kind of be your advice to what he could do to earn more of your confidence in practice?
To be honest, we all have a lot to prove. And secondly, Corey, I think people forget that he missed his whole senior year. So this right now is his senior year. He wasn't a mid-year player. He came in the summer. He had an accident in the summer to where he missed all the summer workouts. He missed the whole summer. So he's kind of working right now in the shape. You got a guy that missed a whole year and then they missed the whole summer. So right now he's working in the shape. And he's a guy that right now is battling through some injuries, and he's actually getting more to the healthy side. Where most guys at this point in the season are starting to get a little more banged up, he's actually getting more to the healthy side. So I think you're starting to see, and you will see, the better version of Corey going forward. So, it's like all of us, though. We all have something to prove, and we all got a chip on our shoulder.
Thanks.
Mark Culkin.
Good morning, Coach. This week we saw, a potential switch from position with Max Gibbs. Can you talk about that? How did that come into play? Did you approach him? Did he approach you? There's a lot of intrigue behind that.
I just feel that we need to get a little bigger in the trenches. And, I look at somebody who, since they've been here, they lost 50 pounds and they're continuing to lose. So another guy who didn't, get a chance to be here extremely early, but he's working into playing shape. And the things he's able to do is, I don't know anybody that can move him. So if you have somebody on your team that nobody can move, got to give him a shot. And, when I approached him about it, he said he was open for it and do anything to help the team. So credit to him, and shoot, he looks great doing it in practice. So I hope he does it well in the game, which I know he will.
Right. We saw him earlier this week. And in fact, Coach Toa had to almost step between him and the mass of humanity coming at Keaton. And we asked a couple of the other players, their thoughts on it. And it was like, yeah, let's make this happen. Because like you said, once he's in motion, physics kind of take over. And it's hard to stop. So thanks for that explanation. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, shotgun.
Dante, back to the development on the offense. Have you seen anything positive on the fronts of the development of a second wide receiver or tight end? Anyone that's kind of seems to be stepping forward in those spots?
Definitely. I think Taj was balancing things. Both his thumbs was a little beat up, and this week of practice, he's bounced back from a couple guys that have dropped passes or a couple plays. So that's been an improvement. Mike Trigg, definitely, right? He's going forward, and like I say, it was another guy that didn't get here to the summer. And I think some guys forget that some of these freshmen were here in January, some of them did not come to the summer. So he's still developing within the offense. He's still developing with the adjustments. He's still developing with the coaching and the academic part of college. So I think, the sky's the limit for him, and he'll continue to improve. And then a couple of these other guys I feel will step up, the Mike Jacks, the Kyron Ware-Hudsons, the guys that we haven't truly got a chance to see. I think moving forward in the season, we will get a chance to see. So that's a positive to me.
And where do you want to see Keaton improve from his first couple games this year?
Well, definitely just pull the trigger. We have all the trust in Keaton, so I believe he has all the trust in us. And just go out there and just play football back to like how it was, as he's comfortable in the offense. He has a good line in front of him protecting, and I have no doubt in my mind that Keaton's going to play lights out this Saturday.
Dante, is there a balance for Keaton as far as pulling the trigger versus being patient, especially with the amount of drop eight that you guys have seen at times?
Definitely. I mean, definitely. And that comes with us, running the ball. The better that we run the ball, the least amount of drop eight he's going to see. So it definitely comes with that. It also comes with development of a second wide receiver. All of a sudden, you can't double Drake London. You got to all of a sudden play zone coverages. But it's one thing to all of a sudden see something that's a shock and it's a surprise. He knows what he's going to get. And Keaton's one of the smartest guys I know. So he knows what he's going to get. He knows where he wants to go with the football. So it's all about making sure that we detail the plan out so that can happen.
Okay, RJ.
Dante, I wonder if you could put your cornerback hat on for a little bit and just talk about what you've seen from that group recently and kind of what are the areas of emphasis for them moving forward?
I see a little bit of up and down, and we have really, really good players at the position, right? Really good players, really athletic players. But at the same time, we look good against Washington State where they can't complete a pass on the outside to all of a sudden you go Oregon State and it's really one pass they threw on the outside and the one pass they threw happened to be a touchdown. So it's about, at that position, you can play 70 plays of perfect football. And on play 71, you're just a little off, open the gate, anything that's kind of wrong or miss a tackle, everyone sees it because that position is such in the open, right? There's nobody else around you. So, like I say, it's not about what you do for those 70 plays. It's about what you do on that play 71 and the one that everyone sees that matters the most. So it's hard to say being consistent because 70 out of 71 is really good, but that's not good enough. Here, if it's 71 plays you play, you got to be good on all 71.
And just individually, I'm just curious about Chris Steele. I know you spent a little time chatting with him individually this week. I know he's kind of a fiery guy. Where is he at in terms of being the leader that you kind of need him to be and what he's shown you on film so far this year?
Like I say, just like all of us, he's had some really, really good moments and he has some moments that he wished that he could correct. The problem is, you can't look back in the past. You got to solve about what you do forward. We played 1/3 of the regular season. So for 1/3 of the regular season, I bet if you ask him right now, he's probably not as happy with his play, right? Because he expects an expectation for himself. He has a standard for himself. So it's hard for someone just to get on him because he already expects so much from himself. He's already hard on himself. So I guess the best thing for him is just to continue to go out there and do what he does, which is lock guys down, but at the same time, take advantage of the plays that come to you. Don't try to play out your element and make plays happen. Just take advantage of the plays that come to you. And, he'll continue to improve with that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Ryan Young.
Dante, going back to Max Gibbs, is that a permanent change or just for the rest of the season because you're so low on bodies at that spot?
It's a week change. It's a get ready for this game change. So like I say, we're going to make sure for every game we play, we're going to do everything possible to win that game, win that moment. So I'm not worried about the rest of the season. I'm not worried about permanent. I'm making sure that we're doing everything for Colorado.
I know each week you're evaluating them and making changes in protocol procedure. Is there anything you learned from the first road trip that you want to do differently this time being on the road?
Definitely. I want to start fast. The second half we played, pretty decent football, but the first half was not of the standard. So just any little things, tweaks that I can get these guys to come out in the first half like they did in the second and just continue that momentum.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, I don't see any more questions. So Coach Williams, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Saturday at Colorado. And media, thank you for being here and have a good rest of your day.
thank you. If I don't.
Thank you, Dante.